What is up, great Canadian ape family? My name is James Marin.
I'm Jim Marin.
And we are the great Canadian apes. And anyways, we are not financial advisors, as you can tell from that sound that we just made. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Progendi. Highlights for December 20th. Down 9% today, closed at 244. 10.5 million raised in cash. 28 million decrease in annual expenses. Ortex Fintel data we're going to be going through. Weekly options, December 23rd. 96% calls out of the money.
Ouch.
And 81% puts in the money.
Ouch.
Watch for hedge funds. The Grinch.
You're a mean one.
Mr. Grinch. To try to keep price under 250 with increased shorting and investors trading in stocks before December 31st for tax purposes. Price target of 2 to 250 for the week of December 23rd. Market closed on Friday, December 24th. Take a look at today's Progendi press release and SEC filing.
Hot off the press 1 hour ago.
Yes, Prog is still looking good. Great long term, potentially raised over 160 million in Q4, setting them up solidly into 2023. Reduction of 145 million in annual expenses. Looking for Boxing Day week sales on Prog, not financial advice.
All right, take a look at today's price action. Prog had a red day, closing 9%. We've seen this before. We've seen this from the hedgies in the past where if the close on Friday was at a level that significantly, and in this case, had 1 million calls and puts be benefiting buyers of it, they come back on the Monday and drive it down.
Because the T+2, and they can do it.
Exactly. And so that's what pretty much happened today, where we opened at 257, and in the pre-market, they drove it down.
Yeah.
Because it was still 269.
So you're basically taking a look at what they did the few weeks back when it went up to $6 that week, and they should have been covering, and it should have gone to friggin' who knows what.
Yeah. It closed
and they just short ladder it down.
It closed at 489 that day on the Friday. November 19th, and then on the Monday, Tuesday, and especially the Tuesday, right at 10 o'clock, they jammed everything down.
Yeah.
The AMC, the
Bed Bath Beyond, Aurora, etc.
Everything went down.
Yes.
And so we see this a lot, with whether it's the GameStops, whether it's the AMCs, that on the Monday, Tuesday, the T+2, they drive it down. So we opened today at 257, which was below the level of support that we had on Friday at the 260 level at the end of the day. It briefly went up over the 267, but very quickly down. And it stayed in between the 250. So we had a level of resistance today at 250 and a level of support at 240 throughout the day. Past levels of resistance have been, so if it does go to the upside, we've got the 270, 287, $3. A level to watch on the downside support can be 225, $2. To be able to specifically get into the chart, then taking a look at the SPY versus Prog. Off the bat, it pretty much went down. The SPY went down. Similarly, Prog went down, consolidated, but then at the end of the day, SPY went up, whereas Prog stayed right at about there. Right now, it's trading after hours at 245. Take a look at what happened between the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. It started today right at about the 50 and 200-day moving average, but then once it did break through that 260 level of support, then was
violent.
Yeah, it just straight down to get it down under the 250. They're going to try again for it.
What happened with that candle right there? That's a big ass red candle.
Yeah, that was 500,000. And so for a day of volume that was only 9.5 million, that 1 minute candle was 500,000 shares. Do we really think at 10:59 all of a sudden somebody said, and it opened at 252. So this is a perfect example of how they will short at strategic times, at strategic price levels to be able to ram it down. And so, at this minute, 10:59, then we see that with 500,000 shares traded, which represents 5% of the entire trade during the day. It happened this minute at that strategic point to be able to get it under the 250. Because it was trying to get under 250 and it wasn't, it was seeing support of the 250. And so what do they have to do? They have to come in and just jam it right down with a lot of shares in 1 minute to be able to, and they were unfortunately successful in driving it down into the 240s. And then it, stayed in between the 250 and the 240 for the rest of the day.
On the European market in Germany, Progendi was down 8.55%, previous close of 234 euros, opened at 230, high of 230, low of 214, and closed at 214, which is 241 USD. And what I want to show you guys right here is only 900 shares were traded. So I think people are holding.
Yeah. People that have this, understand the R&D that Prog has done.
And the fundamentals of the company and its intrinsic value.
They're not flinching. They're not trading, that sort of thing. They're in the nice sweet spot, just over $2 for their shares. For this week's options, expiring Thursday, December 23rd, we have over 450,000 calls and puts at that 250 level. As we just saw earlier, boom, boom, red candle, driving it down under that 250 level. At current selling price of 245, there's only 549 contracts, call contracts in the money. There's 15,720
out of the money
calls. 96% of calls are out of the money currently.
That's nuts.
Over on the put side, 592 put contracts are out of the money. 2,566 are in the money. So those are those underneath the 250 right now.
Jeez.
And so 81% of the puts are in the money. So they're winning on both things. So again, please stop with the weekly, trying to make some money.
They didn't even have weeklies a month ago.
Yeah. Well,
well, a little bit more than a month now, but
before the November 19th, they didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
As soon as they saw that this was a stock that a lot of people were into, all of a sudden they're putting it in. They sell all these premiums. They're making all the money so that they can put the money back in to be able to short the stock. That's their business. And the Jane Streets, the Shitadels, all of them, I'll do a full analysis on it. But for those two, they've doubled in size in the last 18 months. Now, there's going to be another battle this week for 250. There's not a huge incentive for the shorts to go to have the price under $2 for the current calls and puts. But if they still have to, for themselves, rescue some of their shorts that they did in the $1, then you never know. That $2 mark might be compromised. And they're all doing this while the Christmas people are going shopping. Then it's the Grinch. It's the Grinch, right?
Yeah.
Here's Kenny the Grinch.
Wait, that's the Grinch? I thought that was Kenny G.
That's Kenny G as the Grinch, right? Yeah. And so what's going on? People in Whoville, they're going shopping, they're having family over, all these celebrations, nice gifts, that sort of thing, respecting the season in whichever way they'd like. The Grinch here is trying to take Christmas tendies away while the retail investors are preparing for celebrations like Christmas. And so that's what's going on. It's like these guys are still going to make their Christmas bonus by driving it under 250. Well, people are celebrating Yahoo, right? Yeah. And so
this is fresh off the press, hot off the press. Progendi completes exit from laboratory business with sale of affiliate lab. 10.5 million in cash raised, 28 million in annual expenses eliminated. So take a look at this. So this just came out December 20th, 2021, actually at 4:30 or 4:20. So what does it say here? The sale of our Avero Diagnostics affiliate results in a further annual operating expense reduction of approximately 28 million. Bringing the total reduction in annual operating expenses to approximately $145 million compared to the second quarter. This reduction, along with capital raised, should extend our cash runway beyond the end of 2022 and reduce our dependency on the capital markets.
Yeah, so the capital markets. Now, notice a couple key phrases here. It says, along with capital raised.
Yep.
Right? And we had that last week. We brought to you that Ortex verified that they don't have to say when they sold that $90 million of shares.
Exactly.
And that went in November 22nd.
Yep.
The price then, it was $4.89. Now it's like $2.50, right? So something, not just the shorts, but Progendi themselves raising capital. So they could have raised up to $90 million. They don't have to tell us this until February when they put in a filing, I think it's a K-10 filing, to the SEC in early February. So with capital raised, they raised this capital. They got a lot of money. And to reduce our dependency on the capital markets. So this is sweet. Says a couple things here in this one line. They raised capital already, and they've got enough money to see them through into 2023. That's sweet.
This is one of the final steps in our strategic plan to materially reduce our cash burn, said Adi Mohanty, Chief Executive Officer. Completing this transaction is important to us as we focus on delivering on our biotherapeutics pipeline. We are pleased that Northwest Pathology will be retaining more than 90% of Avro employees, and we look forward to a smooth transition for the business.
There you go. So basically, here's they're divesting from something that they really weren't making money on.
Yep.
They have all the products, the preeclampsia, the gastrointestinal smart pill, etc. And this is the SEC report from today.
So this pretty much says the same thing right here. I think this is the big takeaway, one line, if you're going to read it. The transaction results in annual operating expense reduction of approximately $28 million, bringing the total reduction in annual operating expenses to approximately $145 million compared to the second quarter. This reduction, along with capital raises, should extend the company's cash runway beyond the end of 2022, which is great to see. Progendi's corporate plan is to pursue ventures with products such as preeclampsia, smart pill in conjunction with major pharmaceuticals, divesting in other areas that were not profitable. Look for major announcements in quarter 1, 2022. $160 million raised in quarter 4, 2021 has Progendy liquid until quarter 3, 2023 with no other investment or sales income. So they still have all this stuff. This is what they're focusing on, right? They got the OBDS, they got the preeclampsia,
the GI targeted therapeutics, oral delivery of biotherapeutics. And so like any R&D company is going to do, but they're going to focus on what's working for them.
Yep.
And so they've divested now. They're saving $145 million a year in operating expenses while still being in contact with 2 large pharmas and with what I'm kind of waiting for is that preeclampsia medical journal to come out.
Okay.
Because that's what they have said, is that they're not going to be going to the market until it's in the medical journal. And that's being written basically as we speak. So that's going to happen during quarter 1, 2022. And so that's going to be a nice deal. And so they've divested from these not making money ventures and focusing in on what makes money.
And these are billion-dollar markets here. So
a
year, multi-billion.
Yeah. Sweet. Taking a look at the Ortex data for the day. The short interest today went down by approximately 1%, with return shares of 1.2 million and board shares of 1 million. This goes back 2 days. We're talking about Thursday. Cost to board average is in around 35%. Current short interest is estimated to be 21.3 million, which represents that magic number, just over 20% of the free float. The utilization is quite high, still at 99.8. The days to cover is in around 0.35. And so as everybody's settling, the volume, including today, of only 9.5 million simply isn't a lot compared to the average of 80 million, right? People like myself, and I believe yourself and many of our Prog Nation out there, is we've got our seat.
Yep.
It's feeling pretty good.
We're just waiting for the concert,
pretty
right?
Good. We're just waiting for the concert, man. Waiting for it to just, and boom. We're waiting for what's going to happen in quarter 1, 2022, which I think is going to be awesome. And so shares on loan, 28.65 million, which is down just 2% from last week. Percent of free float on loan is 27%, down 2% from last week. And the exchange reported short interest the last time it was reported was December 9th. That's going to be due out by the end of the week as well. And so we'll get some updates by the end of the week. And you never know, shorts could get caught. If they keep on going with this, with 20%, and there's that big announcement, then boom, we got you for a little bit.
Yeah. So good. Short interest, 18 million shares. Short interest ratio, 1.28 days to cover. Percent of the float, 17%. Dark pool short volume, 3 million shares at a rate of 42%, which is still double what it should be, really.
Yes. Yeah.
So 82.42 short squeeze score. That puts us at 99. So unfortunately, we're going down a little bit.
Still part of the top 100.
Yeah.
but we're not betting on any big short squeeze right now.
Yeah.
But if that catalyst happens and if they're where they're at right now, then that's going to be sweet.
Mm-hmm. Short shares availability at 550,000 at a rate of 31%. And take a look at here. So not really any of those. What I do want to show is still, they have not disclosed anything. Come on.
Yeah. So in the last month, you haven't done anything? This is funds disclosing short positions.
Jeez.
So they're not disclosing anything anymore.
So look ahead for the rest of the week and rest of the year. Hedge funds price targets will have to be priced under $2.50 for December 23rd and perhaps gunning for under $2 to recoup earlier shorts. Due to tax season, investors who brought Prog at levels over current prices could look to sell to capture tax losses, putting downward pressure on the price. Announcement of merger, acquisition, partnership, new drug, or any other catalyst will not likely occur over the Christmas season. It's the end of the year, It's kind of Christmas bonus time. Settling in with your families, so no FOMO buyers coming in, we don't think anyways, not financial advice. Our price target for the next 2 weeks will be between the $2-3 level. Today's level of resistance support, $2.50 and $2.41. Past levels of resistance have been at $2.70, $2.87, $3, so look to that if it goes to the upside. Levels to watch on the downside, support at $2.25 and $2. Watch that too. And thank you guys so much for watching the video. We are the Great Canadian Apes. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff. And we will put in the description box below the Reddit server for Progendi and our Twitter. You can check out our Twitter, actually. I'm going to start up again on about January 3rd, taking a little bit of a personal break for Christmas. Just, chilling with the family, with my girlfriend, that type of a thing. And but I often go on and do day trades, day plays, that type of a thing, and that's where I put it on. So if you want to see what I'm doing at the time, not financial advice, of course, you can check it out on our Twitter, description box below. But thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, have a good night.